Man, I've got to tell you guys, what just came out of Cleveland today doesn't even feel real. It doesn't feel like news. It feels like something ripped straight out of a Hollywood script, only it's unfolding in real time, in our game, with real lives and careers on the line, because today, the entire quarterback saga inside the Cleveland Browns camp, all the debates, all the tension, all the drama that's been building for weeks, came to a sudden, brutal, and honestly tragic conclusion. And it wasn't decided in a film room. It wasn't decided by Kevin Stefanski making a bold coaching decision. It wasn't even decided by who played better in practice. No, it was decided by the cruelest force in football. Injury. Dillon Gabriel, the man fighting tooth and nail to prove this was his team, went down today in what should have been a routine drill. A simple drop back, just another rep in practice, and then suddenly everything stopped. No collision, no big hit, no defender in his face. Just a body breaking down in the worst possible way, and in that instant, his entire season, maybe even his career, changed forever. Let's build a totem pole together. Smash like, subscribe, and comment. If this video hits 2,000 likes, that means we're beating the Baltimore Ravens. Let's make it happen! I can't even imagine the silence in that facility. Teammates frozen. Coaches rushing in. Trainers with faces that already told the story before the doctors even confirmed it. By the time the diagnosis came through, catastrophic, season-ending, potentially career-threatening, the writing was already on the wall. Dillon Gabriel's season is over. And with that one moment, with that single cruel twist of fate, the Browns' quarterback controversy evaporated. It's done. It's settled. The universe made the call that the front office, the coaches, maybe even the fans couldn't make themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cleveland Browns are now, without question, Shedeur Sanders' team. Think about that. All the speculation, all the headlines, all the whispers about when or if Shedeur would get his shot. It's over. He's the guy. And the crazy part? He didn't even have to throw a pass today to earn it. The football gods did what the organization refused to do. And here's the thing that blows my mind. When it all went down, when Gabriel was lying on that field and chaos was breaking out around him, Shedeur didn't celebrate, didn't smirk, didn't make a scene. No, he stood calm, stoic, professional. But according to people inside that quarterback room, he leaned over to his coach and whispered just 6 words. Everything happens for a reason. Now you tell me how you hear that. Some people are calling it spiritual. Some are saying it was cold, calculated, maybe even a little ruthless. But whichever way you spin it, the message spread through that building like wildfire. Karma, fate, the natural order restoring itself. Whatever you want to call it, the Browns suddenly had their answer. Kevin Stefanski stepped in front of the cameras afterwards and tried to balance it all, showing respect for Gabriel while at the same time acknowledging the future. And if you listened closely to his words, the subtext was loud and clear. This isn't an interim starter situation. This isn't we'll evaluate week to week. No. This is the Sanders era beginning right now. And if you want proof of how quickly this shifted the energy, go look at social media. Within minutes of the news breaking, Browns fans weren't just reacting. They were celebrating. Hashtags like Justice for Shedeur trended nationally. Comments poured in saying Gabriel's arrogance finally caught up with him, that the universe had chosen sides, that karma had collected its debt. It's wild, because on one hand, we're talking about a devastating injury to a young man whose future is now in jeopardy. But on the other hand, we're witnessing the launch of a new chapter, one the city of Cleveland has been itching for. Shedeur Sanders. No questions asked, no controversy hanging over his head, stepping fully into the spotlight. And let's not pretend this doesn't send shockwaves beyond the locker room. The Browns' playbook is already being rewritten as we speak. Coaches are tearing out the pages designed for Gabriel's style and replacing them with Shedeur's strengths, his mobility, his deep ball accuracy, his improvisation. Receivers are buzzing. One even admitted, the playbook finally matches our quarterback. And ownership? Oh, Jimmy Haslam couldn't hide it. Behind the scenes, he's already fast-tracking the Shedeur marketing machine. Jerseys, promos, ticket campaigns. Everything they were waiting on is now full throttle. But let me zoom in on Shedeur here because this moment could make or break him. His first start under these circumstances? It comes against the Baltimore Ravens, a divisional rival, one of the nastiest defenses in football. On national television, you can't script a bigger trial by fire. And already, Ravens defensive coaches are licking their chops, building pressure packages and disguise schemes to throw at him. They smell blood. They see a rookie. But from what I'm hearing inside Cleveland, Shedeur is unfazed. He's showing up before dawn, leaving after dark, locking himself in film rooms, staying on the field with his receivers until long after practice ends. Veterans are watching and they're saying, this kid is different, and maybe that's the point here. Maybe fate didn't just remove the controversy. Maybe it put the Browns exactly where they were always supposed to be, with Shedeur Sanders at the helm, leading this team into a new era. But let's not lose sight of Dillon Gabriel's side of this. For him, this isn't just losing a job. It's losing a year, maybe more. It's millions of dollars on the line. It's a future suddenly uncertain. And no matter how you feel about the karma narrative, that's heartbreaking. He'll face a long road back, and there are no guarantees. And here's the thing. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Shedeur Sanders deserves the field more than anyone else in that quarterback room. And it's not just about talent, it's about what he represents. Because when you watch Shedeur, you don't just see a quarterback. You see possibility. You see a spark that could finally pull this cursed franchise out of the mud. That's why this whole situation feels like it's teetering on chaos. The fan base knows it. Analysts know it. And honestly, anyone with eyes can see it. When Shedeur steps on that field, the Browns don't just play football. They become a show. Suddenly, it's not just a game, it's an event. Ratings climb, jerseys fly off the shelves, national media finally points to Cleveland again. This city feels alive, and yet, we're still watching Joe Flacco jog out there under center. Joe Flacco, who already admitted after week 1 that he wasn't where he needed to be. A guy who looks every bit the aging veteran he is. But Kevin Stefanski, he just won't hand Shedeur the keys. Now here's where things really start to boil over. Jimmy Haslam is tired of it. He's tired of the waiting, the excuses, the not yet answers. Reports are swirling that he's ready to step in, ready to force Stefanski's hand. Even national voices like Colin Cowherd are saying it's only a matter of time before Shedeur takes over. And let's be real. If the Browns keep piling up losses, Stefanski's leash is going to shrink to nothing. Pressure like that crushes head coaches. Eventually, the only move left will be to let Sanders loose. And the stakes? They're massive. This isn't just about a rookie sitting on the bench. This is about the Browns' identity. This is about the future of the franchise. Because when Andrew Berry drafted Shedeur, the message wasn't sit tight. The message was clear. We've got our guy. This was supposed to be the page-turner, the injection of youth, swagger, and energy this team has been starving for. But instead, here we are. The fan base is in open revolt. There are whispers of front office arguments, rumors of trades circling the league, rival teams lurking like sharks, waiting for Cleveland to slip up. And that's the nightmare, isn't it? Because if Shedeur Sanders walks out of Cleveland, you can guarantee he'll shine somewhere else. And then Cleveland? They'll be branded forever as the team that fumbled a generational talent. And I'll tell you what's even scarier. Reports are surfacing that Shedeur himself is fed up. Benched again. Frustrated again. Walking out of the facility. Silent. Distant. That's not immaturity, that's awareness. That's a young man realizing he's caught in the middle of a power struggle. Stefanski versus Shedeur. Old school control versus new school energy. The system versus the star. And when those two forces collide, somebody's going to break. The locker room? It's split. Some of the veterans have seen what Shedeur brings. The poise, the precision, the spark. And they're backing him. Others still cling to the hierarchy, siding with Stefanski. And while that tug-of-war plays out inside the facility, the fans outside are losing it. Protests online, chants in the stadium, even people canceling tickets. This city fell in love with Shedeur, and right now it feels like they're being robbed of the one thing that gave them hope. Let's build a totem pole together. Smash like, subscribe, and comment. If this video hits 2,000 likes, that means we're beating the Baltimore Ravens. Let's make it happen! And that's really what this boils down to. It's not just football anymore. This is cultural. This is about relevance. This is about the Browns either seizing their moment or letting it vanish into smoke. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie quarterback. He's a brand. He's a movement. He's lightning trapped in a jersey. He sells out stadiums. He dominates headlines. He trends worldwide. And for the first time in decades, he gives Cleveland hope. So what happens now? Does Jimmy Haslam step in, clean house, and finally force this franchise to build around Shedeur? Or do they risk the unthinkable, trading him away, watching him become a superstar somewhere else, while Browns fans are left haunted by what could have been? Because let me tell you this, if Shedeur Sanders blows up in another jersey, Cleveland will forever be remembered as the team that let the future walk right out their door. So I'll throw it back to you guys. Should Haslam step in and force Stefanski's hand? Should Shedeur already be the starter? Or do you think patience is still the right move here? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't just about Shedeur Sanders. It's about the very soul of the Cleveland Browns.